the mic is on, and I'm here, and I drop the mic, you can hear me. But if I'm sitting or maybe standing in the midst of 10,000 people, you won't hear me. That's the way grace is. That's the way enabling grace is. God has made the mic available for you. In the illustration of the mic, He dropped it here, He on the mic, He has set everything for you. It's now left for you to pick up the mic and start talking. And your voice is being amplified. Praise the Lord. So that means after the job is being done for you for the first grace, which is the saving grace, the enabling grace, you would have to do it yourself. You would have to make the move yourself. There are some people that would say they would want to be a tech analyst, they would want to work in a tech firm, they would want to, and you don't know how to program. You don't know how to use Common Excel. For God to bless you, to be able to work in those particular sectors, you have to have common knowledge of the common tools that they use in those sectors. Praise the Lord. So I was going through everything in enabling grace. I was able to break it down into preparing of grace, activating of the grace, and what? Fully utilizing the grace. Praise the Lord. Preparing for the grace, preparing of the grace, activating the grace, and fully utilizing the grace. Please come and open to the book of Esther 4, verse 16 to 17. That was a remarkable story. Esther 4, verse 16 to 17. Okay. He said, go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days. Night or day, I and my maids will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. Praise the Lord. Preparing for the grace. Just like what I said about you wanting to work in a tech firm and you don't even know how to use Common Excel. You wanting to work in the media and you don't even know how to hold a camera or even a mouse. Or maybe probably you wanting to work in the chorister, in the choir wing, and you don't even at least have learned how to sing "You Are Wonderful." Do you understand? You are singing off key every time they are touching the key and it's not entering. Do you understand? So the thing is, you just have to be prepared for it. There was a day the day I opened a foreign account, and I was trying to do a business, and when I came to meet Pastor, after he finished signing what he was supposed to sign for me, before I opened the account, he was like, congratulations. I said, Pastor, the money never deal. You understand? But he said congratulations because he knew quite well that I was preparing for it. It might not be available now, doesn't really mean it will not be available. Praise the Lord. In the place of this story, he said she fasted for 3 days and 3 nights because of her people. The story is very long. The Esther story is really very long. but I would try as much as possible to summarize it. Okay. So Esther is a cousin to Mordecai, the uncle. And Mordecai was able to encourage his cousin to be among those ones that would be chosen by the king after the queen did something wrong to the king, and it actually cost her a position in the kingdom. And Esther was opportune to be one of those people. And God so kind, his grace shined upon Esther, and Esther went into the kingdom. And now something happened. Number one thing I understand about that story is, number one, Esther was a captive from another country. So she did not have a good citizenship in that country. Number one. Number two is Esther being the cousin to Mordecai. And Mordecai knew quite well all the implication of these things. And he told her, do not tell them about your heritage. Do not tell them where you came from. Because it might be used against you. I believe so. He did not tell them. But can you believe that even with you not knowing where the lineage is from, and the king still got married to that lady, and he's living in the palace with him? That's grace. Okay, now moving into Haman wanting to frustrate or kill God's people. Because now I was thinking to myself, Haman must have been elevated and everybody's showing him, giving him respect and everything. But at that point whereby you notice somebody not giving you that same respect that other people are giving to you, I believe at that point, if probably it was, it was Brother Tope that was not giving me that same respect that everybody's giving to me, I would deal with Brother Tope and the Brother Tope alone. I'm just saying. But now, pride got ahead of him. And at that point in time, he didn't want to just deal with Brother Tope alone. He wanted to deal with Brother Tope's family, his family members, other people under his tribe. The full nation that is related to, not Brother Tope. Praise the Lord. I'm just saying, he wanted to deal with Mordecai and the people related to Mordecai at that point in time. That's to show you the height of wickedness. And one thing Esther did was what? To consult from God. To consult from God. She prepared herself before she went into the king's chamber. And it was against the rule to go into the king's chamber at that point in time. Because now there's two things involved. If you go into the chamber and the king gives you a spectre, you are safe. But now you would be able to ask for anything you need at that point in time and it will be given to you. But now there's a catch. If the king does not give you that, you will be what? Automatically killed. So Esther knew what she wanted to do. That's why she went through preparation. Preparation for grace. Then now, activating the grace. Can we please open to Esther 5 verse 2. Esther 5 verse 2. Esther 5 verse 1 to 2. Sorry. Esther 5 verse 1 to 2. And on the third day, Esther put on his royal robes and stood in the inner court of the palace, in the front of the king's hall. The king was sitting on the royal throne in the hall, facing the entrance. 2. When